15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club.
Not that that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. At the end of the day, you gotta know that you're a brand. Yeah. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times.
Today, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are gonna say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him.
Katt Williams didn't just throw shade, he lit the whole building on fire. In one interview, 3 hours long, he said things no one in Hollywood would ever dare say out loud. He didn't just come for his peers, he came for Kevin Hart, calling him fake, power-hungry, and claiming the biggest comedian in the world sold his soul to get there. Yeah, you heard that right. And what started as a comedy conversation turned into a full-blown Hollywood expose, a war of truth, pride, and power. So, how did two of the most successful black comedians of their generation go from mutual respect to total war?
Big Dick Deviance is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
And why does Katt Williams keep saying Kevin Hart isn't who we think he is? Let's rewind, because this story runs deep. For years, Kevin Hart and Katt Williams represented two sides of comedy. Kevin, clean-cut, family-friendly, the corporate brand. Katt, raw, unfiltered, the voice of the streets. Both legends, both icons, but only one became a billionaire superstar. And according to Katt Williams, that didn't happen by accident.
The reason I don't do Big Tigger is because I had a tumor in my upper jaw and they had to take it out and they had to block the whole right of my sinus with a piece of metal. So ever since I got out the Marine Corps, I can only breathe out of one nostril, boy. I get my blood tested every 3 months for the last 15 years. All narcotic tests have come up 0.00%. I'm 44 years old, little Tigger. You look up my rap sheet. I have never had a DUI or a possession of anything, not even the I do every day. See, when you real, you can tell the truth about anything or anything.
In early 2024, Katt Williams sat down with Shannon Sharpe for an interview that would change everything. Fans expected laughs, nostalgia, old stories. Instead, Katt showed up like a man with receipts and revenge. No jokes, no filters, just truth bombs. And one of the biggest explosions was aimed squarely at Kevin Hart. Katt said Kevin didn't just play the game, he became the game.
He then said that, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is that something that, you wouldn't do, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. You have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. For me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged, so I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on a talk show this morning.
You look good
no to that. Not that that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. At the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
He accused him of doing whatever it took to stay on top, even if it meant compromising his integrity. He talked about humiliation rituals, secret deals, and the dark side of Hollywood that rewards submission over talent. According to Katt, big deviants were finally being exposed, and he made it clear that Kevin Hart was on that list.
Today, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
It wasn't just shade, it was a statement, and it shook Hollywood to its core. This wasn't new beef, This was a story years in the making. Let's go back to 2018, when Katt first started taking shots at Hollywood's power structure, accusing the industry of manufacturing stars instead of letting talent rise naturally.
A conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on. And, what? This prostitute? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're a writer. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then like the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. And it was clear, I was adamant. I'm not wearing the dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. That comes back 10 minutes later. The whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast?
When he called Tiffany Haddish an industry plant, Kevin Hart clapped back hard on The Breakfast Club. Kevin called Katt a hypocrite, saying he blew his own opportunities with bad behavior, skipped shows, and blamed everyone but himself. He said, don't blame Hollywood, blame you. Kevin dragged him publicly, live on national radio. And the internet laughed along.
Male black comedians that I know personally that I put on tour who have a hard time getting a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A after they headline 7 shows at a club for $2,500 a week.
But people like real, and that's why
is
they
that
like
what
her.
they like?
They love realness.
Oh, because everybody's real then. So don't trip.
No.
Is they so ghetto? When did that become marketable? Knock it off. They like her because she want to sleep with a white man. That's why the only thing she said was, I want to give.
That moment made Katt look like the bitter has-been and Kevin the humble success story. But Katt never forgot that humiliation. He disappeared from headlines for a while and then came back swinging. Fast forward to 2024. Katt walks into Shannon Sharpe's club, Shay, set like a man on a mission. He doesn't raise his voice, he doesn't crack a joke, and he speaks calmly. Too calmly. And the world feels it. This isn't comedy. This is confession. He says Kevin Hart's career didn't rise naturally. It was engineered.
And off making 85 million. I was over here not making 85 million. But it's all good. I don't mind $1 million a month and keeping my soul. And as long as Richard Pryor was able to be the king of comedy and a crackhead, they gonna continue to say maybe I am. But again, I urge you, and there's a you can do that'll get you Katt Williams level. You should OD on it tonight.
That Hollywood replaced real ones like him with controllable ones like Kevin. That Kevin's brand wasn't built on genius, but on obedience. And the receipts, they were symbolic. Because according to Katt, the proof was in plain sight. Years before, Kevin Hart had told interviewers he'd never wear a dress for a role. He said it with pride, I'm a brand, I protect my brand. Then came Saturday Night Live. Kevin in full drag, wig, heels, the very thing he swore he'd never do. Kevin said it was comedy, just fun. But Katt and a lot of fans saw it differently. They called it the Hollywood test. It was the same test Dave Chappelle talked about years earlier, when writers pressured him to put on a dress for a funny scene. He refused, and they suddenly came back with a new script, proving it was never essential to the joke. It was a ritual of control. Katt said Kevin took that test and passed with flying colors. To Katt, that wasn't comedy, that was compliance. And that's when he started calling him Hollywood's puppet. The most viral part of the video, the one that had the internet melting down, was when Katt accused Kevin of being an industry plant. He said Hollywood handpicked Kevin to replace him the moment Katt became too difficult to control. Think about the timing. Katt was one of the biggest comedians in America in the mid-2000s, selling out arenas, starring in movies, owning his own specials. Then came the scandals, arrests, fights, drug rumors, stories that spread faster than his jokes. And almost overnight, Kevin Hart started showing up everywhere. Same studios, same directors, same audiences, same roles Katt claimed he was promised. Katt said they needed a replacement, and Kevin played along. Fans connected the dots. Conspiracy or not, it sounded eerily plausible. Kevin Hart doesn't usually respond directly to drama. He's a businessman first. But this time, it got personal. Word started spreading that Kevin's team was preparing a defamation lawsuit, not just to silence Katt, but to make an example out of him. Kevin reportedly told friends he was done being dragged through the mud. But Kevin didn't stop there. He started sending coded shots of his own, cracking jokes courtside at Knicks games, dropping subtle bars in interviews, making fun of bitter comedians who blamed the world. The message was clear. He wasn't scared. He was rich, relevant, and legally ready. The internet split in half. Half the fans stood with Katt, calling him the truth teller, the one brave enough to say what everyone else whispers about. The other half defended Kevin, the grinder, the man who built an empire from nothing. Twitter became a war zone. Clips from old interviews resurfaced. Dave Chappelle, Martin Lawrence, Richard Pryor, all talking about Hollywood pressure, all feeding into the same narrative. That fame has a price. People started asking uncomfortable questions. Why do outspoken comedians always get labeled crazy? Why do the safe ones always rise the fastest? And how many other stars were replaced when they stopped cooperating? Katt didn't just accuse Kevin of being fake, he accused him of being soulless. He said, "When you trade your integrity for attention, you lose your soul." To Katt, Kevin wasn't just another comedian. He was the symbol of what happens when Hollywood wins. He called him the smiling face of the machine, a product, not a person. But Kevin sees it differently. He's said many times that he's just playing the long game, turning his comedy into an empire. He's got movies, a production company, stadium tours, liquor brands, all without losing his cool. To Kevin, discipline isn't selling out, it's survival. But to Katt, that's exactly what selling out looks like. Underneath all the gossip, this feud exposed something deeper, the way Hollywood treats outspoken black entertainers. Katt says, when you're loud and unfiltered, they label you unstable. When you're polished and agreeable, they call you safe. He's not wrong. That pattern goes back decades. Richard Pryor, Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle, all of them clashed with the industry when they tried to stay true to themselves. And Kevin Hart, he learned to adapt. He learned to play both sides. He can make white audiences laugh without losing his black audience, a rare balance that made him Hollywood's favorite. But that same balance makes people like Katt suspicious, because to them, no one gets that big without bending a few rules. After the interview, social media went wild. Some fans said they'd always suspected Kevin's rise was too clean, too polished, too fast. Others said Katt's jealousy was showing, that he couldn't stand watching someone else win. Memes flooded Twitter, Kevin in a suit with devil horns, Katt holding receipts. Clips from Dave Chappelle's old interviews went viral again. Everyone had an opinion. No one had the truth. But one thing was certain, the feud wasn't just entertaining anymore. It was exposing something much bigger, the illusion of control in fame. Behind the jokes and headlines, this isn't just about two comedians beefing. It's about how the entertainment industry decides who gets remembered and who gets erased. Katt Williams represents rebellion, the unfiltered truth teller who refuses to play along. Kevin Hart represents order, the businessman who mastered the system. There are two sides of the same coin, and their feud shows what happens when those worlds collide. There's a saying in Hollywood, you either play the game or you become the story. Kevin chose to play. Katt chose to fight, and now both are paying the price. One with his reputation, the other with his peace. Because whether you believe Katt's conspiracy or not, one thing's true. In Hollywood, power always comes with a price tag. Kevin's not saying much publicly and that's strategic. Every time Katt speaks, his words go viral. Every time Kevin stays silent, his brand stays clean. But make no mistake, this isn't over. Behind the scenes, Kevin's legal team is watching every move, every post, every clip. They're protecting the brand and making sure this story doesn't turn into something bigger. Still, fans can't help but wonder, if Katt's lying, why does Kevin look so bothered? And if Kevin's innocent, why does Katt sound so confident? Both men are too powerful to disappear, but too prideful to back down. Katt will keep talking because that's what truth tellers do. Kevin will keep working because that's what winners do. And somewhere between those two extremes lies the truth. Messy, painful, and impossible to prove. Hollywood loves drama, but this time the drama might destroy one of its biggest stars. This isn't about who's funnier, it's about who's free. Katt says he's free because he answers to no one. Kevin says he's free because he built his own empire. But both are still caught in the same system. The one that feeds off controversy, sells stories, and never lets anyone walk away clean. That's an ugly truth behind fame. No matter how rich or respected you are, the industry always wants one more thing, your silence. And Katt Williams, he refuses to give it. So where does this leave us? Two men, two careers, two legacies, clashing in public, representing two sides of Hollywood's soul. Katt, the prophet who lost it all for truth. Kevin, the king who won it all by playing the game. Both iconic, both flawed, both right in their own way. Because the truth is, Hollywood doesn't destroy people like Katt Williams. It just waits for people like Kevin Hart to replace them. And that's why this story hits different. It's not just gossip, it's a warning. So what do you think? Did Katt Williams finally expose Hollywood's biggest secret? Or is this just another comedian caught chasing chaos and clicks? Is Kevin Hart a symbol of hard work? Or a reminder of what you lose when you want success too badly? Let's hear it in the comments. Because one thing's for sure, this feud isn't over. Not by a long shot. And as 2024 unfolds, the truth is going to get a lot uglier before it gets clear. This is Buzz and Drama, where we don't chase rumors. We chase the truth behind the noise. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because this Hollywood war just started, and the next revelation might change everything you think you know. See you in the next one.